It's time to start Dishin Days with your hosts Tony Moore, Michael Mattis, Justin Lee Hareld, and Araceli Aviles. And now, let's dish.
Hey everyone, happy Sunday. We're here at Dishin Days, here to give you a full recap of Peacock's #1 award-winning soap opera Days of Our Lives. And you can catch us on social media at Dishin Days Show on Facebook, at Dishin Days on Instagram, and Dishin Days on X and Threads. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching us now, please do us a favor, hit that like button, hit that notification bell so you can be notified whenever we post and go live. We have some really, really great content that we uploaded this week from our Emmys, which we will talk about a little bit later. But yeah, go check us out, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell. And join us while you're there, join us for our exclusive members only page. We have additional content there, everything from cast interviews and fun things with some of the actors at the studio. We have my segment, Those Are the Days Extended. We have Araceli's with Tia Says. And then we do our usual After the Dish or happy hours about once a month. So we have a lot of fun. So come check us out. $4.99 is the membership per month. So yeah, check us out. You can also listen to us. I was going to say watch us. You can, or some watch and listen to us. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Take us on your daily activities, but jogging, walking, whatever the case may be. But yeah, check us out on there if you can't watch us on YouTube. And then a special shout out to our old co-host, James Lott Jr., JLJ Media, where he covers the rest of the soap block in addition to audio dramas, everything from Young and the Restless, Bold and Beautiful, General Hospital, Now Beyond the Gates. So go check him out there. And then last but not least, make sure you comment below. And if you are in the chat, please tell us your thoughts as we go through these topics and go through the show. Yeah, starting off, what did you guys think of this week's episodes?
It was good. We had a lot of forward movement this week.
Yeah. Really intense conversations the last few weeks. So for our audience members, we were not here last week to discuss the last 2 weeks' content because we were very, very much in recovery from covering the daytime Emmys. And I'll plug right here that you can watch all of our interviews with the various stars, past, present, and future of Days of Our Lives. They're currently on our YouTube channel right now. Please subscribe and go and check out those interviews because it was a whirlwind of a day and we got a lot of great content from a lot of our favorites, some old, some new, some yet to air. So it was really, really good. So the last few weeks we didn't get to cover, and there was a lot of really intense conversations being had. I think we might get into some debate today about certain things.
Oh, Lord. Not a debate.
I actually think we'll be on. I think we will be on. I'll be on the same side of debates today. I should say there's going to be conversation. I don't anticipate much debate amongst each other.
Well, now that you've said it, this is gonna be a 5:30 show.
Oh God, no. I'm signing off by 5, so I don't know.
I'm tapping out at 5 no matter what.
Yeah.
Whether the argument's over or not.
See, aren't you now glad that you only have to deal with moi?
Sure.
And as you can see, Tony is actually out today. He will be back next week. But yeah, this week was good. It was a lot. I feel like one of our biggest complaints has been we love the new writing and we love seeing so many different characters at once and their storylines are interchanging, which is great. I think our biggest complaint has been like the pacing, but I felt like this week the pacing was good. Like it was a lot like it usually is. It's a lot of characters. There's a lot of intersection, but I felt like the pacing was really good this week. So yeah, I thought it was a really good week. Yeah. we ready to dive in and get into these debates? We'll see.
Yeah,
right.
Discussion.
I'm just chuckling because Dylan Matthews said it's Scorpio season, so he'll just debate for the heck of it. I'm already dealing with so many Scorpios. It's ridiculous. All you Scorpios.
All right. Well, got the hourglass right here. Are we ready? In 1 and 2 and 3. Now time to
Dishin
stop.
Days. Oh, Dishin Days.
Wow.
It's Dishin Days.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
One day we will record it.
Sophia's breakdown. Let's go.
We're starting with our first storyline, Sophia's breakdown.
Okay, so
apparently we're having a breakdown too.
Well, yeah, we are a little bit today. So I will say the one word that came out of this week, and it wasn't just because it happened recently. Emmy. That Emmy is coming to Rachel Boyd next year.
Mm-hmm.
And the good news is the girl is probably not going to have to do a lot of homework because I think the fans are just going to put together her reel for her.
Yeah,
that
she
is
was
one
great
good
this
thing
week.
About the fans. They will definitely tell her what to put on there. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, this is, Sophia's breakdown. This was Sophia, Amy, Tate, Holly, Ari, Chanel, Johnny. Then we had Steve, Brady, Sarah, a little bit of EJ and Belle mixed in, and then Leo and Javi, of course. What did you guys think of how this all played out?
As expected. I think we've been talking for a few weeks about how it's kind of inevitable that she's, she had some kind of, or she was on the verge of having some sort of break, which was why she was acting the way she was. And because of all that she had to deal with, all by herself, taking it on while being pregnant and being young and with everything else going on. So it played out as expected, everyone confronting her and just like piling on, and she cracked.
When someone says the word anxiety, that entire scene in the pub, that's what that is. To me, that was the outward manifestation of what anxiety looks like, where it's just one on top of the other, and you can't get a word in, you can't get it under control until it just builds and builds and builds, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's some speculation that she's faking, but we're just going to go on the assumption right now that she's not.
I don't get that she's fake. I will say I was waiting for that. Was it Friday? Was that the last day we saw her, or maybe Thursday? When she was hugging her mother, I was looking for like a hint of a smile or something, or like something to indicate to us, the audience, that she was faking. But I don't think so. I think also I don't know if the faking is better than. She's being sent to an institution.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's better. Yeah. I don't know if she wins in that situation versus, facing the truth here. I will say Monday, I was a little bit disappointed. I got to say, Rachel, the performance was amazing. I loved seeing everyone gather in the pub. I was a little disappointed. I was expecting that to go a little further. I felt like once it got started, it was over with. I liked what you know what I mean? I understand, I guess it's to keep things going, I guess. I don't know. There's still some things that are open-ended regarding her moving forward, but I love the performance. I wish it was a little bit more of a back and forth, or like a fight a bit, not physical, but maybe, I don't know, maybe even see her like tell off certain people. We got a little bit of that with Tate. We got a little bit of
something at Johnny. Didn't she throw something at Johnny?
She threw a teddy bear at him.
Yeah.
I
was excited for that, and I wanted to see more of it. But I was a little disappointed there, but I thought the performances were great. from
If anything,
everyone.
I think that lends more to the argument that she is not faking, because she literally couldn't get control of her emotions. She was she this whole time, and you could see it in that conversation with her mother where she was explaining, you know, I am not the person that you have in your head. And it was all that I think that kind of lends to everyone who is in that room. Everybody had their own opinions of who Sophia was and why she did what she did, but nobody, I think the only person who genuinely was asking questions with 100% empathy and with genuine concern was Melinda the week prior. Now, granted, Melinda definitely has her own, reasons for wanting wanting Sophia not to go off the rails. But the conversation last week that between Sophia and Melinda, you could see the empathy in her eyes, where she was really trying to get Sophia to calm down, where she was just she was doing exactly what you're supposed to do when someone is like spinning out. She was trying to sit her down calmly, trying to just say, I am here for you. Just explain it to me. Explain to me what you're feeling, why you did what you did. And then go putting it backwards on her, saying, it's not that I am mad at you. I am afraid for you. She was showing her empathy in that moment. And that is what Sophia needed more of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just, the thing is, it's tough for them because they were kind of in ignorant bliss about everything that Sophia had told them had happened.
Yeah.
And so if they, obviously if they had known all that she had been through, they would have more empathy. Instead, they just knew what they were seeing, taking at face value. She was doing all these things, and that's why they were bombarding her with the accusations. And now, now she's getting the empathy from most everybody.
Most everybody.
Of course, the one we would all expect to be kind of a D-bag about it is being a D-bag about it.
Yeah.
Talking about EJ, but I don't know if we're there yet.
No.
I mean, well, no. we could go there. I mean, I think he's the only one, and you know what? He's just EJ being EJ, and I'm glad that Belle shut him down right away. And he was just the last in a very long line of people who had no business getting in Sophia's face. And I say that because that's what that confrontation in the pub was. That it's not the same thing as getting answers, as sitting down with someone and saying, hey, I need clarification on this. That was like a swarm.
I also think though too, like I have my sympathy and empathy for Sophia, but I feel like there's a line there that, it only lasts so long, or it only stretches so far. And I wonder, like, I don't know. I think empathy and sympathy are not forgiveness. I think they're still in the exact same position they were before. All of this truth that they know has come from external places. I mean, I don't know. I think maybe Holly said it best when she was like later on when she was talking, I think maybe with Ari, I think it was, or maybe Tate, I can't remember. She was saying how much she feels bad for Sophia, but also that's still not an excuse for all of the terrible things she just did and has been doing for the last several months. And what does that mean? I mean, on one hand, we got the drama of it, the confrontation, but nothing. They're in the exact same position they were before, probably even a worse position now because she's sort of catatonic, so she's not answering, she's not giving them any. They're not Johnny and Chanel aren't making any headway when it comes to the adoption. Now we see that Amy Choi has like taken up the mantle, which honestly made me just roll my eyes and be like, "This is where Sophia gets it from." the avoidance, the not taking responsibility. Now everything is still Johnny's fault. Like Johnny is still the devil in all this. Like
yeah. I mean, look, let's be clear. Everybody in this situation, it got so complicated and so out of control. There's a lot of everyone made a lot of missteps, mostly based on false information, on assumptions, on frankly dealing with their own drama, that they left this poor girl to kind of to deal with the fallout of her emotions on her own. But that's not their responsibility. The only person whose responsibility it actually was her mother, and she continues not to take any.
Yeah.
Or to shift it towards what looks right or what the situation should be instead of dealing with what is.
Yeah,
I mean, we could look. I'm using a lot of PC language right now. We all know what Amy Choi is.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty evident too. And again, this sort of small scene sort of summed up, I think, my whole position the last couple of months on this. When Sophia started to explain herself before she kind of lost it, and she started saying, Tate, they would make me keep the baby, and then Tate's like, girl, what the hell are you talking about? And then Amy Choi jumped in, and I'm sitting there like, exactly, what are you talking about? He was never going to make you keep the baby. This is all stems from the, I won't say irrational fear, but I don't know, the trauma of your mother's stuff and all her baggage put on you, that any sort of conflict translates to, they were going to make me do it. They were never going to make you do it.
I don't think that Tate was going to make her keep the baby. I don't think that he would have been able to stop Amy. I don't think he would have been able to do enough, and not because of any character flaw on his part necessarily, but because Amy's just such a damn steamroller that it would have been, she would have just never ever stopped pushing, and we would have ended up with the same result, with her just rolling right over Sophia.
Yeah. Yeah, and now she's still hell-bent on Johnny is to blame, so she's going to keep.
They will get that baby over my dead body. I'm like,
now that being said,
no, let them have the kid if they want it.
Really, after all of this, do we really think that Johnny and Chanel need to be adopting Tesoro?
I'm on the fence. Like I part of me doesn't, thinks, yeah, why not? But it started out it has started out so not great. Yeah. And Johnny going back and forth, and he had his reasons, and now he and Chanel are stable, and that's a good thing. But yeah, I'm on the fence about it.
Yeah,
like I guess I wouldn't be mad if it worked out. I wouldn't be upset about it. But
like, do you need to adopt this baby?
They do seem to have it. They do seem to be stuck on him in particular.
Yeah, I mean, like it's just so complicated. The biological mother does not want you to have this baby. The biological grandmother is going to steamroll you into losing your minds if you try to adopt this baby. Even the foster family who has been taking care of Tesoro day in and day out has some reservations. Granted, they have no legal, no moral reason to speak up, but even they have their concerns. I'm just saying, like, pick another baby. There's thousands of beautiful children in the world who are waiting to be adopted. Pick another kid, any other kid.
Pick a kid, any kid.
Yeah, I don't know if adoption works that way. I don't think there are 1,000 of newborn babies that are ready to be adopted. It seems
I'm
like
not
they
even
want
saying
a
newborn. Like,
baby.
open yourself up to the possibility of a foster. Like, I'm just saying, it's like they seem to be stuck on just this baby, like not adopting, not fostering, not trying for, like, they just want this baby and this baby alone.
But I also think I think the people who are objecting to this, I don't know if their opinion to me is even worthy to go up against Johnny and Chanel. Like, Sophia doesn't want them. Sophia's got her own issues that she needs to worry about. Amy Choi doesn't want them. Amy Choi, for various reasons, is the reason why Sophia's in this situation. I'm not even acknowledging your opinion. Like, if I were them,
I mean,
like Leo and Javi, Leo, you don't have a leg to stand on.
Oh, true.
Discussing other people's characters, like, you know, like, listen, if they want to make the case Tesoro's been with us, we want to go for it, then I think they have every right to throw their hat in the ring. I'm surprised that they're sort of, I wouldn't say give up, but they sort of bowed out of it so far.
Yeah, they do. They have seemed to just kind of resign the fact that the baby's eventually going somewhere else, that they're not even, they don't even feel that they're it's almost like they don't even feel like they're an option for it.
Yeah, I'd be in total support if they wanted to do it. And then I feel like, you know, all's fair if whoever wants the baby, you know, you apply and whoever gets them, you know, whatever kind of thing. But I don't know. I just don't think those reasons are enough if I were Johnny and Chanel to throw in the towel.
Well, then let me flip it around. It's not that their opinions matter or that they should matter necessarily, but they're a fact that all of these people in this complicated situation, they exist, and that is just a fact that is not going to go away. And if I'm playing devil's advocate on behalf of Johnny and Chanel, then I'm going to tell them you need to be prepared for this to be a fight, not just in order to adopt him, but maybe for the rest of this kid's life. Think about that. For the rest of this kid's life, you may be fighting the biological family. You may be, they may be a constant stressor. Say you go through all the trouble, you get legal custody, you raise them as your own, you're still gonna be in a constant battle with these people. They're not going away because they have such strong objections. Are you ready for a lifetime of that?
I mean, welcome to Salem. Welcome to every other facet of all their lives for, you know, like.
If
Johnny can be raised a Dimera and be the son of Sammy and EJ, he could, you know, like, bring it on.
We say it all the time. You got to be careful who you have kids with. So, you know, I mean, and that's just the natural way. If you actually are choosing to make it more difficult for yourself, then I'm like, okay.
We're also focusing really heavily on Sophia's family's side of things. We still have Aaron as the other factor here.
Yeah.
And the Green family. What if they decide, and you know, we were gone last week when the reveal happened that what everybody didn't want to happen happened, where Aaron had a light bulb moment and was like, oh yeah, maybe I could be the father.
Lord have mercy.
And we were just, it was like, okay, great. And it was very anticlimactic and whatnot. So there's still that hanging around that, yes, Aaron and Sophia did shtup at one time and he thinks he might be the father. So, I mean, it could, I mean, there hasn't been, we have seen, there has not been like any kind of, I like how there hasn't been a test, has there?
Yeah,
no.
Wouldn't that be like one of the first things that after all the other DNA tests,
it's gonna get done?
Like, well,
it's gonna get done. Kat mentioned. No, Aaron talked to Kat, and Kat said, you know, she said that's the first thing that we're gonna do. So it's in the works, and I think it's coming sooner rather than later. And so hopefully, once that happens, we can put all of this to bed, or at least have some direction going forward.
And you know, like that, my point being that about the test, like it still could end up not being Aaron's. There still could be another twist coming. This could just be a red herring for, you know, But then we need to figure, okay, whoever, to my original point of
Lord.
like, we're focusing so much on the interference of Sophia's family. We also need to worry about the family of whoever the dad is possibly trying to. Yeah, my thing, the kid should probably be adopted outside of Salem,
Yes.
Chicago, or
We
maybe
have-
like just away from all of the interference.
I think that's something that everybody at this point agrees on, that it's just gotten to be such a dang mess. And this kid deserves better.
Yeah. Yeah. But as Justin said, welcome to Salem.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I always harken back to like the one time that they actually pulled the trigger on the adoption route, which was when they gave away Philip's son, Tyler, back in the day. And I was always very grateful that they pulled the trigger on that, because Philip was very upfront about not being ready to be a dad, let alone being a dad to a son who he had really no tie to other than biology. It was, those were such crazy circumstances too. And that's a too long story to get into, but he knew that just the kid deserved better. The kid deserved a fresh, clean start with a family that was going to love him unconditionally from the beginning.
I don't remember this Tyler. I must have been out.
Yeah, it's Philip and Mimi's baby, because the black gloves switched them. Remember?
I was EJ actually.
Well, EJ, yeah, that's
right. I was out of the show then.
Yeah. So Mimi would have a son together out there, who should be what, 2-3 years younger than Clay. She should be an adult now.
Yeah.
And I'm making his way back to Salem in the next 12 months.
We hope. We can always hope. Yeah, like, not that I don't ever want to see that kid, but that to me was just the right decision at that time for that character. And if they were astute, they would do it again.
Astute.
Yeah. What do we think of the Tate and Holly end of it now, that this seemed like, not like, oh, everything's all resolved now, but, clear, all things clear for us to move forward. But
Tate's goal this week, after the reveal, and I'm not a dad, his goal was to get into Holly's panties. Like, he's like, I'm over it. Let's go fuck. Like, and Holly's like, I gotta study, and I don't know. They put Holly and Tate back together, and I'm just like, okay, here we go again.
We're not into it.
Like, I'm not, I don't hate it, but I'm also not very, I'm just like, okay, that's happening. And Tate's still acting like a butthead.
Look, on the bright side, it did seem like Holly was at least acknowledging for the first time that even with Sophia out of the way, so much has happened. That, they're not the same people that they were. And I do hope that they lean into that, because it's true. And again, it's not a character flaw to say that we don't fit right now, or we don't work right now, or stuff is happening. Yeah. And that's the thing. Nobody's saying you got to break up forever, but it's like, it's a lot. It's been a lot. And I'll admit it's not their fault. They're just kids, and they should have the right to be kids and to actually take a breather from all this serious stuff and figure out who they are.
And focus, like, just started college, focus on school, get your bearings there. Like, there's nothing wrong. Yeah, too much has happened. They just need to be apart for now.
Yeah, they're very much hot and heavy. And even if they're not apart, like, take things slow. Let's lighten things up a bit. I know it's Salem. I know, like, let's go to a movie. Let's go to the arcade. Let's go do something silly and fun and reflective of the fact that we're two 18-year-old freshmen in college. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's take even if the breather isn't a breakup or a break, like let's lighten this relationship. Ever since day one, it's been hot and heavy with them, whether it's trauma, whether it's the drugs, the arrests, imprisonment, it's the mothers, it's Sophia the last few months, then it's them back and forth with each other. And it's like, okay, you've had enough relationship woes for a couple that's been together a year and a half, maybe. This has all been maybe 2 years at this point. It's a lot.
Yeah, they need the lightness to balance it out, and the lightness is what keeps a real relationship going.
Yeah. We'll see if they get it. I don't want to break from these two characters, but I think I want to see these two characters in other things. Like give them a freshman college storyline, or like make them part of other people's storyline for a minute. Like I need a break from the seriousness of Tate and Holly for a minute. Yeah. And then what else of this? Well, we got Leo and Javi. Didn't really. I mean, they were more throwing their support in with Johnny and Chanel. I like that they warned them about Amy, sort of, whatever she has up her sleeve. Yeah. And again, we don't know. Is it? I guess maybe we'll find out this week. Is she saying, I now want to raise the baby, so I'm gonna put in to which again, I mean, it's sad to say, but she has the for lack of
she has the upper hand. She's the biological grandmother.
She has the upper hand. Yeah. If that's what, or is she just saying, I'm gonna mess it up so you don't get to adopt it and maybe someone else can? That's still fine, but yeah, we'll see kind of what is up her sleeve, I guess, in the next week. Yeah.
I did the one thing I will give and maybe it was more about the performance than the character, because we haven't really Amy Choi has kind of been a one-track character or like a one-note character, but those scenes with Sophia in the hospital with her and oh god,
Brady,
no, the bedside with her and
with Rachel,
yes, thank you. I kept wanting to say Lindsay. I'm like, that's not Lindsay. But those were like really, really great scenes, and it was great to see. Is her name Shanae? Is that how you pronounce her name, Shanae? Great to see Shanae be given some real material that she can work with, and when and then the moment like she like put her hand over and Sophia yanked it away, and and the tears with oh my gosh, that girl, like Rachel with the tears, like I don't know how she does that, but she did it a couple weeks ago and she did it again. And I'm like, okay, that's your signature.
Like the fans will give her their opinions on the scenes, and she can just watch our show to tell us when the exact moments were for her Emmy reel.
Also liked her scene with Brady in the hospital where he's been very combative. They've had a little bit of a combative relationship, and then just to see him sort of really actually be kind to her and helpful, and I thought that scene between them was good.
Just kind of relating to each other's. Yeah, you just said it. Relating to each other as parents and having, him having empathy for her because, there would be, you had empathy for her as much as you could in that.
Also, too, I think it helps that not saying I don't want to use the term they're off the hook, but I think it's easy for Brady to now be empathetic to her now that Tate has been removed from the equation. You know what I mean? Like when it's family against family, then it just becomes people get defensive and antagonistic. But now that Brady's they're sort of we're slowly removing themselves from this saga a bit, and they can afford to disembark from this mess that is happening now. So I think it's easier for him to be helpful. And then with like when she was missing, bringing in Steve to help, which I thought was nice. And I thought everyone was being very kind to her. They were sort of putting away their issues with Sophia and everything that they had just learned about her in the last couple of weeks to just, put our heads together and find this girl. Was that it regarding Sophia's? Did we cover everything there?
Yeah.
I like Sarah's conversation with Amy. Yeah, I think Shani just is great this week between
Yes.
the scenes with Rachel, Brady, and now Sarah. Sort of really getting to her, I thought was good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Guess we can move on to our next storyline, and that is Business and Pleasure. This is the Xander, Theo, Gabby, Philip, Alex, Johnny, Abe, and Paulina, basically surrounding Titan-Dimera in their dissolution.
The disillusion. the merger disillusion. The unmergering.
I mean, call me crazy, but as far as the business aspect goes, I think this actually works out well for everybody.
It on paper, on the surface, it kind of does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I know, like they keep saying that Titan's in like the shitter right now, but you know, like I do think it's for the best. Dimera is with Dimera. Yep. Titan is with the Kyriakis side. Gabby's in the mix. I'm still like what? Gabby Chic. Okay, wait a minute. I need a okay. Yes. Gabby was working with Tony to get information about Titan so that he could blackmail Titan into the unmergering or getting both companies, whatever, with the promise of being CEO. Well, he welched on that deal, made Theo CEO, but Gabby has Gabby Chic.
Yes.
Gabby Chic is not
is a separate company now. It's her
now a separate company from Dimera and Titan.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
It's under neither.
Yes. And which is never, which I don't think has been the case, or if it was ever the case, I think it was only ever the case in the beginning, and then she folded into Dimera, and it's been under Dimera ever since. And she's been trying to wrestle back control of the company ever since.
Got it. Okay. So it works out for everybody. She's got her company, they got their companies.
It's very much a full reset. Although this week I did get annoyed when she was talking to Philip and was like, well, I am a businesswoman, so make me an offer. I was like, no, please. Like, you finally got Gabby Chic to yourself. Do not make an offer for Titan. It was like she was trying to, like, I don't know, maybe because of the mixed in feelings with Philip, or she was, or maybe she was trying to think trying to think business wise, like I need some cash, maybe an infusion, but Philip told her, we're not in a position to even offer you anything to bring you into the fold of this company. It's not,
which is fine because then they can keep doing their little business in the bedroom.
Yeah,
no conflict there. As long as he never finds out that she was the corporate spy, all things are good.
There's that outlier. There's always that outlier secret just hanging in the balance, and now Theo knows about it. So she's trying to keep it. She's trying to convince Theo to keep it.
Yeah.
Which did anyone else find that strange? I was like, but she, like, I don't know. I felt like it was weird that he sort of brought that up, or like it was even on the table to even like expose her. I'm like, well, technically she's the reason you have Dimera. Like, do you know what I mean? It seemed weird for them to be arguing over that secret or point when she did it essentially not solely for them, but again, they are the benefactor of her doing it in the first place. So it seemed weird to have it on the table of like a secret that Theo could expose her. I was like, well, no, you two were technically on the same team here. Like, threatening to expose her, it just seemed weird to me. But again, they seemed like they came to an understanding about it. I just didn't like that it seemed like this is something in the back pocket that can be exposed by them. It seemed to me Theo's position should have been like, of course I'm never going to say anything. Like, you did what you did, so now, we have our family company back. You're all right with me. It just seemed weird that, I don't know, it was a bone of contention for a second between them. I didn't get that.
I think it's a sign that Theo is a lot savvier than a lot of people are giving him credit for. And that this is a new Theo. This is a much more, not just business savvy Theo, but maybe, I'm trying to find the right word. because he's not as bloodthirsty as his relatives, but he's not the little boy that his father wants to make him out to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that people are saying there's a faction of people that would say that Theo is going to this naively, that he has no idea what he's signing up for, that, you know, people are going to try to control him, and it could be true. However, I do think that they're underestimating him to a point.
Absolutely. I funny thing, this whole week, the whole like mixing it Abe and Paulina into the story, I was 100% on Paulina's side. I think Abe is 100% overreacting. I just think there's so many different factors. One, I think some people were trying, like when he brought up like, oh, you know, he brought up, I think Abe brought up Chanel and like, what would you do? And I was like, well, first of all, that's a completely different situation. Chanel is a Dimera by marriage. She married into this family a couple years ago. Paulina, yes, has her reservations about the Dimeras, but she very much has never been, you know, she's never sort of planted herself in between Johnny and his family. She's been incredibly supportive of Johnny's stuff with EJ and being a support for him. But one, Theo is, first of all, Theo is a Dimera, so that you can't change that no matter how much you relent. He was raised knowing he was a Dimera. He was raised with all of these people around him. Also, I think we're forgetting, but I feel like Abe's forgetting, like when Lexi went to the dark side that one time, but for the majority of her knowing that she was Stefano's daughter, which was what, 20 something years before she eventually died, especially that last leg, I felt like she was in an incredibly great place with her family where she had strict boundaries about what she would do and not do regarding them. She had strict boundaries about how much she let them into her life and vice versa. She had strict boundaries about them influencing Theo, about her getting mixed up in their stuff. And I felt like it was a really great place for Lexi to be at. And so I feel like Abe is like missing all of that stuff. He's missing that. He's also missing, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, first of all, Tony, say what you want, but he's pretty much even keeled at this point. Like he can get down and dirty when he needs to be, but he's not Andre. Kristen is in jail. EJ is not part of the company. And Chad, who he's never, you know, Abe has never had a problem with and is very fond of, has his own business. It just seemed, this like retreat of stay away from the Dimeras, they're gonna hurt you. It just seems a little bit much.
It's not EJ.
I disagree to a point. I do think at some point he needs to let it go. But Abe has history with the Dimeras even before Lexi. Like he knows Stefano, he knows what this family can be capable of, even before Lexi and her Dimerified personality came into the picture. So on one hand, I can see why he would be why he would have reservations about his son going to work for that company and what it does to people, seemingly does to people, to be a part of that, to be integrated with that family, to be a part of that company. And Paulina's point, she doesn't have that history. She only has a couple years of history with the Dimeras, mostly EJ and Johnny. So she doesn't have the firsthand experience that he has. So of course they're gonna butt heads. I kind of saw both sides of it. Like I honestly see why Abe he didn't need to be so nasty with Paulina, I think his delivery could have used some work. But I can see both sides of it. And I can see why Paulina would be like, why not? Like, let him go, you know, he's an adult, let him, and it's like, Abe has this like 30 some year history with this family. So, you know, I can understand why, but you know, to your point, Justin, at the end of the day, Theo's an adult. He can do what he wants. He can do what he wants to do. And yes, Lexi was not as dastardly. She had her moments, but she was not as villainous as the Dimeras can get.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's not that the fear and the anxiety that Abe is feeling is without merit.
Mhm.
However, like you said, it's the delivery. It's the blame game that he wants to put on it. Oh, Tony shouldn't have done this. Oh, Paulina shouldn't have done that. Your son is a grown man. He can make his own decisions. Now you can decide to fight him every step of the way and isolate him,
Mhm.
or you can say, I'm going to be there for you no matter how this shakes out.
Yeah, and to Abe's point, I think I would feel differently about this if like Stefano was still alive.
Yes,
If
if it was,
Andre was a part of this,
yeah.
I would totally be. I would actually find myself more on Abe's side, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
think like this is a different iteration of that. So I kind of feel like Abe, you're still holding on to the Stefano Andre
Yeah.
EJ at his worst kind of days, as opposed to looking at the Dimera family as it is now. And yes, I do think there is always room to corrupt, but I also think like Theo is a Dimera. So unless you're gonna lock him in a tower and not have him, my thing is like he could also be corrupted, not working for them. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like
Yeah.
Theo has a strong relationship with these people. If he's not working with them, he may live in that house. He may go and be amongst family with them like he always was before. So I kind of think like his approach should be a little bit more even keeled. I also think, do you guys remember when Kristen was pretending to be Nicole, and of course because she was
Mhm.
pretending to be Nicole, she was acting erratic? And Abe, do you guys remember Abe started working at Dimera to protect
Oh,
Nicole?
yeah.
And I feel like not that he should be doing that this time, not that he should be like, I want to work at Dimera too, but I feel like his approach back then made more sense of like,
Yeah.
let me come at this a different place. He didn't sit Nicole down and scream at her and say, you can't work for the Demiras. I'm your pseudo father. I ban it. I forbid you from it. No, he found a more even keeled way to sort of do it. And I feel like this is where I think Abe's wisdom should be coming in, and he should be maybe advising Theo on ways he can sort of redo Dimera. Because the idea is like he's coming in, Theo's a good guy, he's going to help change Dimera around. Well, help him with that. Like maybe not officially, like as an employee, but like be supportive of that. Of like, I see what you're doing, son. I see you're trying to like change your family name so it means something better in the community. I don't know. I feel like his approach is just a little fire and brimstone, and it's like calm down
Just a
a
little
bit.
harsh, just a little
Yeah.
harsh. But
Yes.
you know, it's at the very beginning stages of this.
Yeah.
Like he still has a chance to soften to it and to take what Paulina is saying and what Theo is saying to heart, and maybe maybe realize that he just kind of needs to let it happen and let Theo discover for himself, and support him along the way, and be a shoulder when he needs one.
Yes. That being said, if Abe continues on this blaming Paulina train and continues to raise his voice and to continues to spout out words like betrayal, Paulina, you have my full blessing to put that man on the couch.
She will. Oh yeah. Like Paulina doesn't, she doesn't put up with shit. It's the best way to say it. Yeah.
You don't talk to your wife like that.
Ironically, I find it funny. I find this to be the most rational and like Paulina has ever been on the show in the last 5 years. Like, you know what I mean? Like usually it's her being hysterical or being excited about something. And I'm like, no, Paulina's making complete 100% sense to me. Like Theo came to her, she gave him really good sound advice, and she wasn't also like, oh my God, go do it, go be a Dimera, embrace it. Like she gave him some warning. She listened to him as an adult and said, you can do some real good here. I trust you. And I'm in support of you. And I'm waiting for Abe to like get that. And
Yeah. I mean, let's be clear. Her daughter has lived in the Dimera house longer than Theo has.
Mm-hmm.
Theo never lived a day of his life in that house. Chanel was there for dang on years. And you know what she was? She was there to support her daughter. Even if she disagreed with it, even though she hates EJ with every fiber of her being, she supported her daughter.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Abe. Hopefully he'll come. I mean, I'm sure he'll come around or be proven right or something. I don't know. I just think like you have to like and also like
let it happen. Just let it happen.
Yeah.
And try to relax about it. And then if shit goes down, just try to be there for him, you know?
Yeah. And also not for that, but like Theo's not perfect. Like everyone makes mistakes. Who knows if maybe Theo ends up being a little bit cutthroat. Now, do you automatically ascribe that to he's being influenced by the Dimeras? Like maybe, I think you're coming at it from this idea that your son is like perfection.
Yeah.
He's so sweet and nice. It's like, yeah, he's a great guy. That doesn't translate to, I think what we saw of him this week with Xander, I think was a perfect example. He came in and was like, hey, I'm here to help make this smoother. And then when I think Xander quipped something back, he says, oh no, don't mistake me. I'm gonna make sure Dimera is number one, like healthy competition, but I'm not here to like sabotage you. I'm not here to do some like corporate espionage stuff. So I feel like that's the Theo I think that is needed. Like you want someone who's tough, who's like not afraid of competition. He's not backing down from Xander or Philip or Alex. He's ready to go toe to toe with them, and I think that's great. I feel like Abe would look at that scene and think, oh, Theo's getting corrupted. Look at him changing. It's like, no, he's becoming his own person. He's not, little Theo who's running around, who's afraid to interact with people because of his autism or afraid to get close to people. Like that Theo isn't, he's that Theo doesn't exist anymore.
Yes. And I do credit Tony for recognizing that, for actually this wasn't an impromptu move on Tony's part. He looked at the way that the family is right now. He looked at what was needed. And I mean, I think he explained it to it made me chuckle when he explained it to EJ perfectly. It was like, well, why wasn't Johnny in the Reading? And he's like, have you seen your son? Really?
Even Johnny would be like, no.
Johnny's never had an interest either. Like, it's not even, no offense against Johnny. It's just, not.
That's always been EJ. It's like EJ's a dance mom. He wants his mom to live out his idea of success. Mm-hmm. And Johnny's like, nah,
I'm cool. Yeah.
Nah.
I'll just shoot videos over at Titan. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Right.
No. Yes. Which you'll be fine.
So I'm interested in this. I feel like you guys said earlier, this is like a reset now. So like, Dimera's with Dimera's, Titans with the Kyriakises, Gabby has her company, and we'll see how they fight each other moving forward, or whatever the conflict or business storylines we'll get out of this. But I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
No, just to answer Dilfan's question. I mean, he could try, but it's like EJ's any parental moves that EJ has done and any recently has just been fail. Like he can't even hold a conversation with his son right now. So
leave Johnny alone. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're already in hot water.
Your opinion is not needed, EJ, on this or any other subject.
Just chill out. Like things will slowly work themselves out. Okay, just give Johnny some space and not. Don't make this another thing.
Typical parent can't help themselves but try to hover when what will get results is giving them space.
Okay, on to our last top storyline here. This one is Secrets Are Out. And this is two different secrets. This is the Xander, Sarah, Philip, Maggie side of it. And then, of course, the Stephanie, Alex, Kayla, Anastasia. I keep wanting to say Anastasia Beaverhausen. Anastasia Sands.
The whole town's gonna know the secret before this goddamn book
line. I know. Oh god. Like, okay, let's do the Stephanie Anastasia Sands secret first. Yeah. What do we do? Just put it in the Spectator. Let's let him do it.
Seriously,
just stand in the tower in town square and scream it out. Why don't you?
I mean, this was another business decision that works out for everyone.
Yeah. I mean, I thought again,
even tight ass Julie's on board with it.
See, look, where's the harm? Where's the fire? I don't see it. It's all good.
Oh God! As she grits her teeth.
I know where the fire is. So is Philip.
Okay, let me ask you guys about that. Okay, so we're going through now all week of people inadvertently finding out. At first it was Julie, then she tells Chanel, then Johnny finds out, then it's revealed that Philip knows. The Alex stuff kind of threw me for a loop. Literally at the end there, I didn't get it. Of all the things to be weirded out or to now be jealous about it, like.
I see. I thought, I was like, oh yeah, this tracks with Alex's personality. Like so though he understands that his lady has had suitors in the past, we'll call them, he doesn't, he is now face to face with one every day and has now read two now, and has now read exactly what happened betwixt her and I can I guess I can understand why he has a little bit of the ick with it, maybe.
Yeah,
he'll get over it though. He'll get over it.
It's a minor, it's a drop in the bucket. It's just a little startling to him because he was dealing with the Jeremy aspect of it. Going with the assumption that Jeremy was the one who told Leo that Jeremy is the problem, knowing the exact scene that Stephanie based off her interactions with Jeremy. So he was his brain was busy dealing with that it was the stuff with Philip that just kind of blindsided him. He'll get over it quickly. It's Jeremy is still really kind of the main forefront problem in his mind.
Yeah, I think that's why it threw me, because I think when it came up in the boardroom when they were trying to tell Johnny, I thought it was awkward, of course, when he was like, wait, and then he described how he put it together, which is like, I mean, duh, like he just found out that Jeremy put it together from, why wouldn't Philip, I guess, but I thought it was just going to be that awkward moment, and then it would let it pass. But I feel like he extended it and made it a thing. It's like, I don't know, like this is your cousin. The fact that you've shared women just in general, you should have already gotten over that. So I don't know. Like, of course he's in the book, and if he's not in the book, they still had a relationship. They were engaged years ago. Like, I don't know. This seemed weird to me. I don't know.
It may have been something that he realized, but just blissfully ignored it, or just didn't until that moment in the office with Philip.
Yeah,
he may have just been, aware of it, but not. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It didn't, but all in all, it didn't bother me or seem weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, okay, yeah, Alex is gonna be bothered by it because he knew his woman, in detail now. It's real. Yeah. It's not just something happened, but it's real and it's in your face now.
Yeah.
Someone Robin brings up
did Chad not make the book? I was like,
we need to discuss when we think, or when it was said that she wrote this book. She could have written it during the time that Steph, the character, was off.
I think she did.
She came in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I that's what I got. The intention. Not the intention. The idea that I got about when the book was written was during the time when we weren't seeing Stephanie, before she came back and had the Alex and Chad relationships.
Yeah,
that it kind of seemed like it was something she wrote, then tucked away and forgot about for.
I think she did say that.
But she's also been doing editing on the book since it became part of, being published with Kate, and also who knows what she added to it. Who knows if Everett's not in the book? Like, she's not naming people, of course, by name, and it's not a direct, she's not writing about specific romances all the time. So it just seems like specific sexual encounters that people are trying to figure out who is who, kind of a thing. So I don't know. Like I said, I never really bought into the fact of this would ruin her PR image. So I don't know. I never thought it was that big of a deal to be enough of a secret, I guess.
And I'm happy that no one's yet really shamed her
Yeah.
for it. You know what I mean? They've all been kind of accepting. I would expect at least there should be at least one naysayer in the bunch. Now, who that would be, I don't know, but I feel like there needs to be at least one detractor.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got that a little bit with EJ.
It'll be Jennifer.
Yeah.
That was mean. Sorry.
I mean, I think we got a little bit of that with EJ, but I don't think it's gonna be that thing that is gonna ruin her like she thought. Like even Kayla said last week, like, look, your dad will blush a little bit when the truth comes out. But you're a best-selling author. There's no reason to not be proud of that.
Yeah.
Mrs. Choi is not going to shame her. Mrs. Choi was almost getting her jollies off in the hospital.
You think Mrs. Choi is actually going to publicly say that she has read the material that is in the book?
She was reading it in public.
Yeah.
They're just like, ooh.
Yeah. Listen, Julie's focusing on her, book sales, so she's not. She doesn't give a shit. She's like, Stephanie, you want to make another appearance next week so I can
weekly readings.
Damn book I bought.
Bring some people in the damn store. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Okay, no, I wasn't even thinking. Steve doesn't know yet, right?
Nope.
No.
Okay, so he's gonna be he as the dad is gonna be that makes complete. Or he's not a naysayer, but he's gonna be bothered by it because that's his little girl. He doesn't need he can know that she's a woman and that but it doesn't need to be he doesn't need to read about it.
It's a tiny bit embarrassing. It's more embarrassing. It's not embarrassing that she wrote it. It's embarrassing that he read it.
Yeah, that's it. It's like if you were an actor and did a sex scene. It's like you're proud of it, but you may not sit down to your parents and say, "Watch this." It's like, yeah. But I'm more interested in her when she finds out because I feel like it's gonna come to a head because the prevalent thought is that it's Jeremy. And when she finds out that it's actually EJ, I mean, Leo is sort of the linchpin here. So I feel like it needs to come from, and it seemed like they went back this week, which I actually liked about him and Stephanie being friends because they did start to get close during the body and soul stuff. Yeah. And I felt like since then they've dropped it. And they also brought up like her friendship with Chanel again this week, which I was like, oh yeah, I forget like she's friends with these people because we never see her interact with them anymore, and we haven't since the body and soul stuff. So
yeah,
I did at least like the Leo stuff, but I did think like, oh, okay, well, we used to be such good friends. Okay, now like, are you going to tell her the truth now when things start getting crazy? When she starts throwing around these Jeremy accusations or accuses you of getting information from him, are you going to?
So I need a reminder. How did the reveal of her being Anastasia? She admitted it to EJ.
Yeah.
She admitted it to EJ because he was accusing Kayla of using too much internet bandwidth. Mm-hmm. And so she did it to come to the defense of her mom.
Yeah.
How did Leo found out?
From EJ because Leo was on to EJ's secret plot kind of a thing about the hospital, so he was like throwing him off of that scent.
Okay,
he was like, "Let me give you a bigger scoop than
that's
you
right." Okay,
yes. With the hospital.
It was his attempt to throw Lee off the set, which did not work.
And the whole thing about they're just assuming she's just assuming Jeremy was the rat.
Yes,
because he knows he's in the book, but he actually wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Dots are all connected now.
Yeah, no. Let's see. And that's the only reason she thinks because he's new in town and who else could it be kind of a thing. But yeah. Got it. Okay, cool. Yeah. On to our second second secret. That is the Xander, Sarah, Philip, Maggie, a little bit of Marlena there.
It needed to happen. It needed to happen. This relationship that we root for between Xander and Sarah, like it as long as that secret was hanging up there, it was not gonna last. And the further it went, the worse it was gonna get. Mm-hmm. And to Sarah's, like Sarah, obviously read him the riot act. You let me apologize to you, blah blah blah. I can't not defend her, obviously, for being upset about it and for wanting to file for divorce. Now, do we think, like, I guess I can see why she's like, oh, well, what if I make you that mad? What if Victoria makes you that mad? And you're like, okay, girl, he's not. This was Philip, like, but I can understand why that she has that fear. Like, do I think she's? I don't know. I hesitate to think that she's overreacting to this because it's just another example of it's too much trust ruined.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as much as I love them together and want them to be a couple and rooting for Xander, and Xander, for all of the progress he's made, this is the one, like, the one infraction, but unfortunately it's a big one.
Yeah.
Like no marriage has a simple set of rules. Everybody has, that one thing that they will or won't tolerate in their marriage. And for many people, violence is that thing, rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
The issue with Sarah is always that this is always who Xander has been. Mm-hmm. You knew of all of his crimes. Many of them were violent, happened before he even met you. And you still married him twice and chose to have a child with him and raise that child together. And the argument that you had ample warning and still made a decision for yourself and your child to be with this man, and then went around and said, oh, but I thought he would change. Not on your side on that one. That one's on you. Sorry.
He did. It's frustrating because he did change, and it was just this one giant infraction. But it's just the trust has been broken from both sides of this relationship, and now it's just, here's another one, and so, like, and it's just a shitty situation. But I understand Sarah's. It's more, I think it's just obviously disappointment, and it just, the hope was lost. Like, there needs to be, now that I think everything is out between them, at least, right? Like,
now everything is out.
Now everything is out. Like there's not something Sarah did that we don't like, that we
everything's out right now. Yeah,
everything's out right now. So if they have hope to rebuild, maybe, couples get divorced and remarried in real life and on the show. So maybe, as we were talking about Holly and what's his face taking a break, Sarah and Xander need a break. And whether that's a divorce for a while, it's needed with these two. There's just been too much between them.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a level of gaslighting that has been happening the last few weeks regarding Sarah that she has a genuine reason to be pissed about, because again, this revelation brings them back to square one where they were at 8 weeks ago or whatever it was. I think the difference now in her reaction is, like you said, Michael, complete disappointment. It wasn't screaming, yelling. It was really like, what the hell? I just started to forgive you. You obviously forgave me. We were moving forward with things, and you're still doing it. You're still doing it. I also think there's a statute of limitations. I think, I agree with you, Araceli, in terms of once you get with him, you have to let go of the other stuff. But also, if the person continues to do that behavior even after they're with you, then it's hard not to bring up the other stuff. At least to sort of reveal a pattern, or to try and get through to the person of where's your limit? And I think
in terms of divorce, I agree. In terms of her making a choice that she doesn't want to continue to put up with that behavior in her marriage, that's fine. If that's a choice you make, okay. But in terms of Victoria, in terms of the company, I hope she doesn't start taking those steps, because that's not an argument you're going to win.
I hope not. And I'm glad that this iteration, she didn't mention Victoria, because I was like, oh, please don't go back to the custody thing. And I feel like maybe that's what's going to be different here. I feel like the Victoria stuff, I'm hoping, is off the table, and that she's just saying, I don't want you. I want to move forward with the divorce. You know, we'll keep whatever the custody agreement we still have with Victoria, because he moved in 5 seconds ago. So there's still, up until they slept together 3 days ago, they were still with this custody arrangement.
Yeah.
So I have hope that, because that's where her mind, she didn't go there, we're not getting Victoria's custody battle now for the third time. We had it once before they were married. We had it 3 months ago, and I hope we're not getting it again. So I hope at least that's the bridge they've crossed, that Victoria isn't an issue, and it really is the disappointment of we were just starting to do it like right this time and actually get counseling, and you know, I don't know.
Yeah. Do we think there's a little debate in the chat about, should Maggie have brought it up, or should she have just let it come out on its own? I kind of, and maybe I just appreciated the scenes as they were, but like, you know, now, because I feel like it was a very mother thing to do, to be like, okay, we're starting this over. Are you sure you're everything's out in the open? Are you sure? And she brought up, she's like, yeah, you came home that day and your hands were all bloody. And, you know, I feel like it was reasonable for her to just be like, okay, before now we're starting this trajectory again, before we go full ahead with it, anything you need to say? Like, she mentioned, I got used to, you know, seeing the signs with Victor when he would do something, when he was keeping something from me. I don't know. I thought it was reasonable of her, and I don't know. I didn't have a problem with her doing it, but apparently some people do.
Yeah, for me,
apparently everybody in the chat room.
I was actually glad she brought up this has been like a little bit of a pet peeve of mine this past, that I felt like her and Sarah, for quote unquote, forgave Xander too quickly. Once Philip said it wasn't me, it wasn't him, they completely shifted. And I was like, wait, why? You've been so adamant that it's been him. You've seen evidence that it's been him. He all but said, even in their fights and in their arguments, he's basically, you know, without saying I did it, he's basically almost sort of admitted he did it. So for them, whenever they did the 180 originally, I was kind of like, oh, that doesn't make much sense. So this made sense to me. Maggie saying, we were sort of going along because, you know, we got the family and we're trying to make things right. And I also think it makes sense in terms of, I think I may have even said this weeks ago, like if him and Sarah aren't together, then who cares about the secret? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't offend me. It doesn't offend me that he's lying to her about the Philip stuff if they're not a couple. But now they're coming back together. They're sleeping together. He's now moving into the house in a guest room, but he's back in the house. They're seeing Marlena for couple counseling. So I think at that point, you kind of, everything has to come to a head in a way. And I applaud Maggie for kind of pushing the issue of being like, something isn't still sitting right here. You probably did it. So just kind of admit it so we can all move on. And I don't know if Maggie 100% knew that Sarah would want a divorce. Maybe she thought, well, you're going to couples counseling. Maybe, like, you know, be honest. Maybe we might have a different outcome here. I don't know. I don't think her goal was tell the truth so my daughter can dump you. You know what I mean? I don't think that was her agenda.
No, I don't think it was her agenda to break them up.
Yeah, no,
it was just the agenda. Like, if you're going to start again, start fresh, and that means all your business needs to be out.
Yeah,
that's how I interpret it. I appreciated the way Suzanne Rogers like acted, or the way she, you know, she was Maggie in those scenes, and Paul. I felt this was a great week for him, just off of his Emmy win last week. Obviously, you know, wasn't planned that way, but you know, we got to see some good stuff from him this week. Yeah.
Well, I think you guys said it all there, and you guys said that perspective, and the other perspective was a very, very loud tirade by my aunt and my cousin last night when they're probably on Team Xander.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it before the show. That was funny.
Yes. So all I will say is, my opinion, as it were, I think is going to depend on what happens next.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
On what decisions Maggie and Sarah and Xander choose to make next. Do they choose to keep this peaceful? Do they choose to say, this is where I leave you, I can't put up with this behavior? Or do they all choose to overreact and take unnecessary steps that hurt their personal relationships, hurt the business relationships? Because that's the part that I'm not on board with.
The business relationships may be interesting because now it's like Xander was the offender, but now they also have Philip, who was lying and being dishonest and saying that Xander didn't attack him. And now Maggie's in business with both of them. And
but that might be the one positive that has come out of all of this, is that Philip has genuinely forgiven Xander.
Yeah.
They are
Xander's
genuinely
Philip's the one Xander went to. Like, who'd have thought that would? And they, you know, had some bro time and beers and whatever.
I'm not a male, but I know some heterosexual males that's just what they do. I mean, not to like beat you up to the point of almost killing you, but that's how they choose to, like, they get aggressive with each other and then it's done.
They act like Neanderthals, and then
they're cool. And then they're cool. And I mean, like it's not the way I would settle an argument. It's not necessarily what I would call healthy. But if at the end of the day, they're cool and it works for them, and nobody's picking up that argument years later as a dig, then I mean, who am I to say that it doesn't work? It seems that is the case here. They seem to have put it behind them.
Yeah. I just hope that, you know, Maggie doesn't go in and try to be like, well, now that y'all are raggedy, I'm running things, or I hope that I hope that it's more of a, we have our issues, we need to keep it separate from, we need to try to keep it separate from the business to save Titan. So, well, we'll see.
Cool. Looking forward to how both of those are gonna
how
these quote unquote secrets, which are finally, well, Stephanie still has a little bit more revealing to do, but for the most part it's out because it's half of Salem knows now.
I was one last thing and then we can move on. I expected once like Chanel and Johnny separately knew, I was like, oh, are they gonna make this a cute little thing between them? Like, they go home and they're like, well, how was your day? Oh, fine. How was your day? And then they'll both realize together that, but no, it was really kind of anticlimactic. They sat down and was like, oh, well, I told Chanel. Oh, well, I told Johnny. And I was like, oh, okay. It didn't have to be like a big thing, but you know, I was like, they both know, and they're not. I mean,
Leah had a good line to describe it this week, that, you know, once more than two people know a secret, it's no longer a secret. It's a plate of hors d'oeuvres being passed around.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Well, that was your top stories for this week. And before we get into our tidbits, we just want to do a reminder to follow us on social media at Dishin Days Show on Facebook, at Dishin Days on Instagram, and Dishin Days on X and Threads. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please hit the notification bell, as well as the like button. You can also join our exclusive members only page, $4.99, exclusive behind the scenes content. My segment, Those Are Days Extended, Araceli's TSS, and also our once a month, either after the dishes or happy hours. You can also listen to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And be sure to check out our former co-host, James Lott Jr. on his channel, JLJ Media, where he covers the rest of the soap block. GH, Young and Restless, Bold and Beautiful, now Beyond the Gates, and of course, a lot of his Emmy coverage that he had last week as well. Yeah, so getting into our 2 tidbits today. First one is Mark Green is released. Finally, Mark is back in the picture here.
Played by the original actor that played him.
Yes.
This was new. This was news to me, at least. I didn't realize this actor was. I didn't realize we were getting Mark on screen. Like they had built up to it, but usually, there's. I mean, even 8-9 months ago, I don't remember them dropping the news. So this was this is a pleasant surprise, and now we have like the other Green family member, and I'm curious. I'm intrigued by this.
Yes. Well, it's made all the more intriguing because it would have been easy to have him go off, or come back off screen, fight him with the mother. But instead now he's going to be a character that is put to use. People are asking, why is he back? Well, he's back because EJ needs a patsy.
I think he's back for a lot of different. I think he's filling a few different, for lack of a better term, holes here because we have the EJ stuff. EJ has now hired him to do research for this secret project, and he is going to sign a non-disclosure. So, and a funny thing, I feel like it was funny because Mark was like, I don't want to get into any shady stuff, and then EJ was like, it won't be, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, it is. We still don't know, so I felt like EJ was trying to say like, your part won't be shady, like, you know what I mean? But the rest of the stuff that we're doing is shady. But
that's actually a good workaround.
Hands clean. If that's, I don't know. I felt like that's what he was trying to say because Mark specifically said, I can't get involved in anything crazy or shady, and he was like, you'll be fine. I thought that was more of like I'm up to some bullshit, but your stuff is legitimate. Like whatever you research for me will be legitimate, but what I do with that information will be, I can't say. But we also still don't know what it is. Like we know it's secretive, but we don't 100% know if it's illegal. We're assuming it is, but
I'm gonna assume, based on actually what you just said, Justin, I'm gonna assume that maybe the development of whatever he's doing is maybe not so legal, but maybe that the end result would be, if that makes sense.
It's something for the greater good, but he has to
cut corners
in an underhand. He has to cut. He has to do it in a not so legal way.
That makes sense. Yeah. We'll have him come. I mean, he's still not a thorn in the side, but complicates things a little bit. Even if Chad and Kat aren't together, we saw Chad's reaction. And also, I'll just put this out there: we still left his sexuality up to debate. Remember last time? And then there was that interaction with Leo where we were like, "Oh no!" Or no, remember he was going to confess something to Leo, and then he immediately was like taken away to prison. Remember, because Leo assumed he was gay, and then he was saying, "I'm not gay. What are you talking about? I'm not gay." And then there was that scene where he was going to say something to Leo, and then their conversation got So I think he is. So I think also he may be coming in to stir up some trouble with the other gay couple, you know. And we know
a lot of stuff.
We're going to have a change with one of the actors there, so who knows how things are going to play out here. So
yeah. So, I mean, it's never as we said before, it's never the character. It's always, the positions that you put the character in that make for a great return. And if you make good use of Mark Green, there's a lot to be done.
And he's a solid, actor. He's got a good presence on screen. So yeah, hopefully they utilize him properly.
Yeah.
Kat is doing too much on her own. That's the thing. Yeah, Kat's seems to be shouldering a lot right now with her siblings. Now Aaron might be a dad. She's been pretty much a sole parent to Felicity. Like, she needs help.
Also, like, again, we have the Kat aspect of it, of she's quote unquote working for EJ, but really investigating him. So now does she investigate her brother? Does this put a strain on their sibling relationship? Because,
okay. This is the part that actually very much puzzled me. I assumed that the way this story was going to go, that Mark would take the initiative to go apologize to Chad and EJ, and that he would then hit up EJ for a job and then after the fact tell his sister. I did not anticipate that Kat would encourage Mark to go to EJ when she already knows that he's doing shady things at the hospital.
Well, in that defense, I thought she was more like, he'll give you a research job. Remember, we got the scene earlier where EJ was saying the lab is short, or short of people, qualified people, and Sarah was like on him about that. That's what I thought she was alluding to. Like, we need good people at the hospital, not necessarily you would work for EJ specifically, like in a sort of like sole capacity. I think if she thought that was going to happen, she probably wouldn't have suggested it.
Yeah, it was I think it was, I mean, it was kind of a dumb move on her part to not think that he might rope Mark into something shady, because it's what EJ does.
Or, I mean, just because it's like she could be being like, oh, another mole, another person to gather info. But again, would she put her brother in that predicament?
I don't think that she would have a choice
unless
at this point.
And then someone in the chat room, what if there's a deal behind the scenes that we don't know about? That he, I don't know if that may be a little out there. But,
I mean, I don't know if
recruited as well.
I don't know if he would be like. I mean, this seems like on the up and up right now. But if EJ pulls him into something shady and Kat gets wind of it, she's not going to have a choice but to try to bring Mark in and use him in order to save his butt, because he's still on parole. He literally just got out of on parole. He can the only way that he comes out of this if he fully cooperates with the authorities, because otherwise EJ is going to use him and then discard him.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the character, there's many different options for this character to go. With that, we also got, speaking of Jeremy earlier, we got Thomas and Jeremy, or Jeremy giving Thomas a little perspective here on dating and adult dating, and his dad, what Chad might be going through here. I thought this was cute.
It was. And this is where it gets complicated, because I think we had such strong opinions about Jeremy, the character we knew, and everything about Jeremy now is so unknown that it's like, I mean, the advice he gave to Thomas was sound this week. The conversation that he had with Chad was really just spot on.
Yeah.
Spot on. Calling out. I mean, he called them all out. Julie, Jack, Jennifer. He's like, they all have skeletons in their closet that they would rather we not bring up. Facts.
I think what's interesting too, especially with the Chad stuff, is they're slowly forming this friendship with them, but then it's also waiting for the other shoe to drop of Chad finding out the Stephanie history here. So I think I'm wondering how they're going to play that. Do we come out of this with either Chad like getting close to Jeremy and then either feeling betrayed, or do we come out of this with Chad as Jeremy's biggest supporter now, thinking he's changed and he's a different person and I know him differently and I love you, Steph, but he's not that same. You know what I mean? I don't know how that would go.
Biggest supporter, no, because that's Julie. Always will be. Julie has never met a Horton that she won't support. They could be a murderer, a rapist, whatever. She's never met a Horton that she wouldn't support.
I don't know. I think Jeremy is going to need some out. If Jeremy truly has changed, or even honestly, even if he hasn't, then this is at least a storyline that he's fooling people. I think he's going to need some support in Salem, and that's got to come from more than just Julie, I think. So maybe, I don't know, maybe Chad does become a supporter of his, or
I mean, his brother is Dimera, so it's not like he hasn't done that before.
But it's also the question of, does he not deserve a second chance too? Like,
I mean,
at least maybe not for Stephanie. I think that's totally up to her.
No. Stephanie, as his victim, 100%, she is 100% within her rights to never want to see his face again.
Yeah.
That being said, that
public opinion.
Public opinion. I mean, even Stephanie would agree that that's not hers to say.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I'm intrigued. I still think like you said, a lot of Jeremy is still unknown. Has he changed? Is he still the person he was before? But also it's this thing that they do sometimes. He also doesn't have to be perfect either. Do you know what I mean? He just doesn't have to be the person he was before. So, maybe he's a little bit mischievous. Maybe he's a good guy overall, but he's not going to take any of Alex's shit. Or, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be an either or. He doesn't have to be the main villain in Stephanie's life, or he doesn't have to be reinvented as some angel who rescues puppies every day. It's like he can still be a complicated person just as long as he's not evil.
I do want to bring up one scene that was, I think it aired last week that we didn't get to talk about, that because I think we all were kind of like we hadn't yet seen Alex and Jeremy interact before, and there was some worry that Alex might overreact, and I still don't think he has. I don't think he's overreacted at all. He's just being very protective of Stephanie. But one of the things that I clocked in their first interaction was, did you see that Rafe was in the room and Rafe's face kind of perked up
at the pub?
At the pub. Yes, that interaction. And so I remember it just because it's a reminder to keep their eyes open, that it's not just Alex and Stephanie and their immediate circle that is watching this guy. Steve has now officially put Rafe on the case. He's asked Rafe to investigate Jeremy. So slowly but surely, it's not just the immediate circle and the people that care about Stephanie that are going to start creeping into this. There are going to be others that are watching this guy.
And it's also, Rafe was also around back then too. I don't know how much interaction he had with Jeremy. He wasn't on.
He wasn't. He wasn't around then.
Rafe wasn't on the show then?
No, Rafe was not on. No, 2009, late 2008, early 2009 was when Rafe came on. Jeremy was gone by then.
Okay.
Jeremy wasn't on that long, was he? Like 6 months, maybe.
No, it was a very painful.
For some reason, I remember Chad and Gabby weren't there. I just thought for some reason Rafe was around back then, but I guess not. Yeah.
Let's see. Rafe and Lindsay Hartley. Who did she play? Ariana.
Yeah. Ariana.
All after Passions was flushed, and then Eric Martsolf came on as Brit. That all happened around the same time.
They all came on in like October, November of 2008. Yeah, Jeremy was gone about a year from Salem, I want to say.
So it seems like they're making sort of this point that is Stephanie the only one, but she can't, because again, we know that Stephanie kept the Jeremy stuff, that part of it, somewhat secret. But also Jeremy was not a beloved character back then. So I'm trying to think who was around that even still, just in general, was around then that still was like, Jeremy, you're an asshole. I know they don't know what he did to Stephanie, but
aside from the Hortons, not many.
Yeah.
There because Bo and Hope were around back then, but they're gone.
Gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess so. Yeah. I guess
a lot of people are gone from that time. Yeah. That they at least would have had even peripheral knowledge of.
Yeah, maybe Jeremy. That's why I thought Rafe was around then, because that interaction that face he made, I thought like, oh, he remembers Jeremy, but I guess not very many people do that were around and even because even Roman was like, "Good to see you, kid," or whatever, and it was like, oh, like he was an asshole back then when you knew him too. So I mean, he was never a great guy. Like even though they don't know what he did to Stephanie, he was a bit of an ass back then. Even
well, I mean, and that's the thing about time. It's like this is coming up on almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So of course it's like you that's the way you would greet anyone you saw. Like maybe you wouldn't have the fondest memories of him, but you wouldn't outright treat him as an asshole coming into the pub. It's only the people who have been told, no, he was much worse than you think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cool. Is that? Oh no, we also got in addition to this, is kind of roped in here. We got Leo and Rita, and of course sort of Jay thrown in there. Kind of.
I think I've been waiting, and I think I just didn't realize that they never had a scene together. Leo and Rita interaction.
Mm-hmm.
Is so sleepy right there. He's like, nope.
It was a good one to see. She's on top of this project, and she's still around. She's behind the scenes, sort of doing her magic. And I want to make a correction. Someone corrected us earlier. It was Leo was onto the Rachel secret, and that's what EJ was throwing him off with.
Oh yeah, and I remember I remember because if we had been on last week, that would have been my it's a gif. That face that he met, that was the quickest reaction that I think I've ever seen from EJ.
Yeah, that's right, because Leo was asking him about being shot, or like, are they closer to finding out
his head snapped up so fast.
Yeah, thanks chat for reminding us. I was like,
yes,
but yeah, good to see Rita is still around and popping back in and up to no good, and she's it's funny because it's nice to have a Dimera henchman back again. I mean, we're from the days of like Bart in Dr. Rolf, which can be so silly, and I like that she's a little bit quirky, but she's also on top of things, and like it makes sense that she was Stefano's sort of secretary. It tracks. So I like that she's she's essentially is a bad character. I mean, let's be real. To be able to do the things that she does and to be able to do them with ease, she is, but they've infused her with enough likability that we sort of we like seeing her when she pops up.
Yes.
So yeah.
Look, tis the season for our love of villains.
Yes. And of course, you guys love her too, since you gave her a Dishin Days award for best newcomer. So yeah, so here's to seeing more Maggie Carty. She's great as Rita. Yeah. And last but not least, for our last tidbit here, we have Belle's birthday, which was a whole bunch of, this was Belle, Brady, Marlena, Tate, Rachel. There were a couple different storylines here sort of merging on this one event here at the Brady pub with Belle's birthday.
The best thing about this part of the story this week was Marlena's reaction when Rachel was giving Belle her gift.
Oh.
Marlena, because Marlena knows everything about Rachel, and that Rachel, shot a bitch up. So like, just the look of like, she had this pensive look on her face, like, oh God, what's she gonna do? She's, oh, I want you to have great grandpa baseball card because I just thought you might want to feel cool. I'm like, this manipulative little shit. I was like, that's what I got from. I was like, oh, this manipulative little brat.
Oh wait, you thought she was like playing something or doing like? Wait, what do you mean?
I like Rachel, like making Belle like. On one hand, she's over at the Horton house with the other little kid, stirring up shit. Then she's going back and being like, I just thought you would want to be close to Grandpa John today. And I'm like, you're such an evil little brat. Like, look at you. You're gaslighting Belle into thinking that you're this sweet little kid. When you wait, you're
actively gaslighting her. She's a very complex young girl, and yes, she is a brat. But
shit is what she is.
She's a brat. She can also have a genuine moment. Look, I am not doing. Look, I straight up will be manipulative as heck in my gift giving. If I haven't given you a gift that makes you cry, then I'm not doing my job correctly.
Yeah, I didn't get any like deviousness with the gift. I thought it was. I mean, I feel like Rachel likes who she likes, and she doesn't like what.
I feel like there was just. I feel like there was just a little twinge of manipulation to be like, no, I need to make these people believe that I'm not the little shit that I really am.
Oh, because of stuff with Thomas recently, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm,
like, I have some points to score. Maybe is that okay?
Yeah. I mean,
not crazy.
And she did it in front of Marlena.
Yeah.
And
look, I got that, but not in that moment. I think the moment that you might like that your point makes your point more valid is when Marlena took her over to the Horton house and she was all sweet with Chad and apologizing. Now that was manipulative as hell.
So it stands to reason that this whole "I want you to have Grandpa's baseball card" that was manipulative too.
Let her love her Grandpa. Oh my gosh.
The chat is with me, by the way. The chat room unanimously, well, not unanimously, but agrees with me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
And then what do? They take her and get her all sugared up at the pub.
I'm so tired of these scenes where she comes into the pub. Okay, Roman is like, get this little witch away from me. Every time she comes into the pub, they're pawning off on Roman. Roman's making you something. Roman is working. Leave Roman the hell alone.
Right?
I'm giving this little girl ice cream every time she shows up to some. I'm like,
or some complex milkshake.
We've got to like change the pattern how they deal with children. Whenever it's always like, go eat ice cream. Go get a cookie from the kitchen. It's like, just go tell her to sit down somewhere. Like go tell her to sit down. I swear. This girl walks into the pub and she's like handed a milkshake, a sundae, cookies. Like, go bother Roman while I talk. It's like keep these fucking kids out of the Brady pub. I'm not your babysitter.
Wow.
Every time conversation. It's like, go see Roman. Like,
wow. Who peed in your Cheerios?
I'm like, Roman's back there flipping burgers at 80 years old. Like, he doesn't want fucking Rachel in his face, making him a sundae. Like,
I have a question.
Okay.
It's now genuinely puzzling for me. Between you two, this fine day, your lack of love for children, and my
child. We're talking about one specific evil demon child.
And the pair of drama queens I had to deal with last night. My genuine question is, how am I the rational one right now?
No, I like Rachel. I just don't know why they're always hyping her up on sugar all the time. Every time she goes somewhere, it's like their way of shutting her up or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give her some ice cream so she won't. She won't shoot anybody else.
I love that. That's Marlena's treatment. Just keep her like on sugar and endorphins.
Right.
Debbie says, make her diabetic.
Keep her happy. Keep her happy.
Sometimes a milkshake is just a milkshake.
Oh God, how funny! I can't. But no, I did notice that this week. I'm like, it literally came in, and it was like, oh God, another Tate and his. Yeah, we got a new milkshake for you to test out or something.
And then later they were like, oh yeah, go get some extra ice cream.
I know, right? I know.
I would like it stated for the record that Annette is right. That if we are not finished by 5 today, Justin, it is not on me. It is all on you.
I just said I'm not saying to 5:30 or yeah.
It's whatever. We finish when we finish.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah. But yeah, we got Rachel having a little bit of a flashback, kind of, or flashback to the paperweight, a flashback to having a almost flashback to shooting someone. So she's 2 degrees away from remembering that she shot someone. So yeah,
and it's
again this.
Are we? I think we had a debate about this before. Excuse me. Do we think that it is in Rachel's best interest for them not to?
Nope.
Nope.
We all agreed that this was
we
not
all
in
agreed.
the best interest, right? To just keep
Yeah.
this
Terrible
secret and
idea.
let her remember on her own, like.
And it was
doesn't
pretty evident this week when she was having it. Marlena's like, let's go outside, girl. It's like she's rushing her out to therapize her for a few minutes before she brings her back in. And Brady's sitting there, and Belle like, what the hell just happened with your daughter?
because neither of them know. Like, wait, does Belle know?
No,
nobody
Belle doesn't know. Brady doesn't know. Kristen knows, but she's in jail, and we're not seeing her. So
Kristen, EJ, and Marlena know are the only three.
Right. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. For a hot second, I thought that this week that EJ was gonna start coming to the conclusion that people need to stop cutting Rachel slack, because when he heard that Rachel got involved in Chad's business and traumatized Thomas, he looked pissed.
Yeah.
I mean, I think in the back of his mind he was going, why the hell am I protecting this kid?
Yeah. Or maybe this isn't the best course of action for her. For Kristen, one, to take the blame, and two, us to keep this a secret and not really get this girl any help.
Yes. Wouldn't it be interesting if EJ is the one that comes to that rational conclusion?
I mean, well, he is the victim that is sort of got completely swept under the rug because he's an asshole. But he did get shot by a 9-year-old, which not a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, not much better than getting shot by a 14-year-old. So
yeah, and we got Brady. So again, do we all see where this is going with Brady? That this is going to be Black Patch Part 2. I mean,
because suddenly he's very Lansbury of Salem now, just solving all the mysteries. Himself. So
this has been a very slow nice here. Yeah.
It was a nice moment between him and Marlena about how I just don't know what I'm doing with my life, and I don't want to give up Basic Black because it's Dad's, and I don't want to betray him. And just the reassurance that John would have supported him no matter what he decided to do. So, nice
I'm wondering if Basic Black, that'll be a plot point for something in the future, because he keeps saying it over and over, like, I don't want to give it up. I want to keep it in the family. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I'm like, okay, well, there isn't anyone in the family who would take it over. No one. There is no family, And I'm like, is this an entrance for Teresa to come back? Is this honestly, what would be poetic would be for Kate to run it, because she was the original. She ran it originally, when John first brought or came up with it. It was Kate who launched it. And ironically, it was Kate who mentored Brady. I know they don't get a lot of scenes together, but when he was younger, he was very much attached to Kate. She was his mentor during that whole period. I'd like to see, and it's owned by Titan. I'd like to see like a little poetic Kate sort of going into that lane. I know she's doing the publishing thing, but it'd be nice if that was revisited, like her going back to running it. That would be nice.
I mean, he could. I mean, he's attached to it because it bears his dad's name. I mean, there's nothing saying that it still has to be under the Titan umbrella. Gabby did make him an offer for it.
Oh, true. Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Well, it's also we'll Titan let it go if it.
Yeah, probably. I mean, probably not. That's more of a fight. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the idea that that you can have like a full career, or multiple careers, and still be kind of at a loss. Still feel like it's not the path that you want to take. I think that's a good storyline to go for. I'm not necessarily sure he needs to jump from one of his dad's companies to another one of his dad's companies. I'm not sure that that's necessarily the right move, but I guess we'll see.
I'm actually kind of excited about it. Usually I'm like, the Brady stuff, it's all about who he's with and who he's dating. And I feel like they've hit an impasse here with him in regards to women and like trying to really make something work. So it's like, I'm all in favor of a work storyline that, isn't Titan related or Basic Black. Like I'd be interested to see him and Steve as the new Black Patch. And see Brady as a PI moving forward. I think it's been what, maybe 2-3 months. They've slowly moved into the let's show Brady being a little bit more intelligent. Let's show Brady being a little bit more astute. Let's show him be, a little bit more of a detective here. So I think it's worked so far, and yeah, I'm kind of interested in it. I think it'd be something new, something maybe fun for Eric to kind of delve into that he's never really got to do before. Yeah.
Using his brain, not his.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't need another Brady falls in love with X person
and completely fucks it up.
Yeah.
Nope,
Yeah.
been there, done that.
No.
Many a time.
We got a little bit of a revisit of Marlena in these spells, which I mean, it's how long until we need answers for this? Like, this is a very, very
soon, please.
Soon.
we I don't want her almost passing out through 2026. You know what I mean?
Like the best example that I can give of how this needs to be wrapped up is like that episode of the Golden Girls that they did when Dorothy had chronic fatigue syndrome and they couldn't diagnose it. Now in that timeline and that episode, they indicated that months had gone by because it was a 2 episode. It was 2 episodes. It was covered in 2 episodes, half an hour each. But it was indicated that months had gone by. So the best way to do it would be like that.
God, I think we're already there, are we?
Yeah, it's been long enough. It's been long enough. She's talked to Sarah. She's been in for tests. It is following that Dorothy storyline from the Golden Girls, but we need some resolution for it before it gets stale. It's getting on the cusp of stale.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm glad we're not getting these flashbacks that are sort of maybe don't lead anywhere. It's like unless we're gonna get answers, don't bring them back up again, or if they're not related to the plot, which we're assuming they are, but yeah, let's get some movement on that storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that concludes this week Days. That was a lot. I feel like that was a lot. We always go into it, and then sometimes even the most mundane plot, still there's a lot to talk about and get into. Yeah, that was your week. And now we will head into our segments. Of course, Tony isn't here today, so we don't have the 3 snaps, but we do have a
caption that.
All right, this caption that moment. Speaking of Rachel and all of her sugary tweets, this week's caption that photo comes courtesy of Eric Martzoff and Alice Halsey, plays Rachel, with her bitch what look. And this week's captions, plural, first goes to Annette Thompson, one of our favorite members, with her caption, Aunt Belle, are you still dickmatized by Uncle EJ?
Oh, God, I love it. I love Brady's face too. I love it.
It's like Eric Martzoff gave his option of Dad buried who in a sarcophagus?
Oh, I love that one.
Referencing when Brady put Vivian Alamain in a sarcophagus, as she did to Carly Manning years earlier, and even had a video, walkie-talkie, everything.
To taunt her,
That
also,
wasn't... Okay, cute. Yeah. No, I was going to say that wasn't the caption I read.
Yeah, there was another one I thought too. Yeah, I saw the second one too.
Third caption, I don't know what you're talking about. Third caption is from Tony Moore with his caption, I make a bitch disappear, right?
God.
A lot of participation this week. So there you go. Pick your fave. Mm-hmm. And that was... I'll just wrap it up.
Caption that.
I didn't see the first one though, Michael, because he held. I want to get his second one. The second one, he said, "Hold up, are you telling me that bartender back there is the only one in town that hasn't?"
He did that on his story, didn't he?
Yeah, that was his second one. So this is a lesson that Eric Martsoff really does love our caption that.
That's why I tag I tag the actors in case they want to,
Yeah.
throw one in the fire, not in the fire, but throw one in the caption hat for the caption hat. Anyway, can we move on?
And next up.
Those were the days.
All right, taking you back to October 21st, 1994. This is during her birthday party. This is when Sammy decided to break up Austin and Carrie. So this was the genesis of the eventual I will drug Austin, sleep with him, eventual Will pregnancy that wasn't a Will pregnancy by Austin Elise. So this is the genesis of that. This sent me on a wild sort of, not goose chase, but down sort of memory lane. And after the show, you can see my Those Were Days Extended, where I explored the 90 teen scene / young adult scene of Austin, Carrie, Sammy, Lucas, and Jamie, of course. And special shout out to Jamie, which I spent some good time on because she is often the character that is forgotten from the 90s, who was very, very important and instrumental in, the rise of Sammy back then. So go check that out after the show. I did it. Those Are Days Extended on the 90s teen young adult scene. And that was this week's Those Are Days was October 31st, 1994, when Sammy decided to break up Austin and Carrie.
Those were the days.
And next up we have
It's a gift.
And this week's It's a GIF will be for myself and on behalf of Tony Moore, who I think if he were here would also have picked this moment because, as we know, Tony is a fan of the single tier, and Miss Rachel Boyd delivered. Look at that, the single tier.
Not just once, but twice.
Twice.
And that's the second time she's done that. She did
Girl.
a couple weeks ago.
I'm just as equally impressed at the not blinking too. I mean that in of itself is hard. It's just as hard
To let the tears without that little,
Yeah.
little help. Yeah.
Miss
Good job,
Rachel
Lisa.
Boyd, Sophia Choi, you get this week's It's a GIF, and you are killing it, and we love you.
Yes. Those are our segments. And next up, before we say goodbye, we have. Oh no, sorry. I'm just gonna go right.
Girl, we got whole news and gossip.
I know, completely skipping news and gossip, but now we have. Oh God.
News and gossip.
And we have some casting news to start off. We unfortunately, but not a huge surprise, we are going to be saying goodbye to Kerry Christopher, who played Titan-Dimera for the last several years. The actor has announced that he is leaving Days, or has actually left Days, as they shoot so far in advance. He filmed his last scene several months ago. We're a little unsure on his last air date. I did know he mentioned he is on this coming Friday, but I don't know if that's his actual last air date, but we'll soon find that out. But again, big well wishes to Kerry Christopher. He's just such an incredibly gifted actor. And the last few months, he has been booking like crazy. So this, again, is not a huge shock that he is leaving Days. In addition to that, you can find him this coming week, Wednesday, October 29th on Chicago Med here. He also has Weapons that's hit streaming this coming week. He, of course, has the series regular on It's Not Like That. This is the Amazon show where he plays Scott Foley's son. Mm-hmm. That is coming early next year. He has Spider Noir with Nicolas Cage coming out next year. He also has Lanterns coming out next year. So he has 3 different television shows all coming out next year that he is starring in. So yes, that is why we are sort of saying goodbye to Kerry Christopher. Yeah, so good luck to him. We will see him, I mean, on the screen, on the big screen, on the small screen in the future. So yeah, I mean, he was Emmy nominated last year as well. Just I'm pretty sure we have a new Thomas. I might be able to announce that maybe next week or the next couple of weeks, but yeah, we know, of course, that the character is probably not going anywhere, but yeah, we are saying goodbye to Kerry Christopher. So best of luck to him in all of his future projects. This kid is so talented. Next up, we have some casting news. Tamara Braun has been cast as Floor in the new short film Floor. It's a short film about art, life, and mortality. Also, check out her interview with us and Lucas Adams, and specifically Araceli, that we did at the Emmys last week, that we will get into a little bit in a few minutes. But yeah, big congrats to Tamara. She, of course, now is on Young and the Restless, where you can catch her on that. So yeah, go support. Best of luck to her. And then, of course, Al Calderon, he premiered actually last week on Brilliant Minds, but please be sure to catch him every Monday. Next show is tomorrow, the 20th, of course. Brilliant Minds made his debut last week as Nurse Nico Silva. You catch him, he's a series regular on the show this season. So yeah, again, big congrats to Al. We know he left Days and why he left Days for Brilliant Minds. So yeah, go support him there if you're a fan of the show.
Yes, it was a great opportunity for him, but we miss you terribly, Al. Or we will miss you terribly when you leave our screens.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Next up, Ari Zucker has finally settled her lawsuit with both Corday Productions and former executive producer Albert Alar. In February 2024, Ari filed a discrimination and sexual harassment suit against Alar and Corday Productions. No details have been disclosed on what settlement they reached, but all parties seem to have come to an agreement. We wish everyone the best of luck moving forward.
Yeah. Next up, some days online, we have some birthday wishes. Big happy birthdays to both Christopher Sean and Connor Floyd, who both celebrated birthdays this past week. I think the Christopher's was yesterday, Saturday. But please, after, go check out our interview with Connor Floyd that he did with Araceli from the Emmys, giving us a little preview into his time as Chad coming up. So yeah, big happy birthday to both Connor and Christopher. Then, of course, Stephen Nichols and Mary Beth Evans took us down memory lane to discuss Days in the 90s and early 2000s. This is the series that they've been doing in the social media space, where having an actor come in and talk about just their time during that decade and what the show was like. They talk about how different it was than taping back then. Of course, back then, soaps were taped very much differently. They talked about all the rehearsal time they would have, and then sort of the shoot days they would have to sort of shoot. That was, of course, back when, you know, the show was a little bit closer to air date. Now we are, at this point, 9 to 10 months ahead. But yeah, they talked about that. They talked about their favorite storyline, and of course, the epic bubble baths. You will find out when you tune in and check out that little sit down they did. You can find it at on social media at Days Peacock. It's always nice when those two sit down. There's so much history with them in the show, going back almost 40 years, and yeah.
Yes. Next up, Starstruck Fan Events has added a Misery Loves Company after party event in connection with the play that Julie Dove will be performing with Sean Ferris, who, as you know, is the husband of our very own Sherry Jimenez. The show is going to be Sunday, February 15th, directly after the closing matinee show. So this will be a special event that's taking place after the final show. Tickets and information for that particular event are currently on sale at starstruckfanevents.com. And if you want to see the play any other time, please go to their socials to go and pick that. You can go opening night, you can go any time in between. I forget how many weeks it runs.
It's like maybe three consecutive weekends, I think.
Yes, 3 weeks. Please go support if you're in the area.
Yeah.
Also, Kevin Spiritus will be having an Evening of Hope and Elegance charity gala. So this is going to be taking place November 6th here in Studio City. This is supporting the mission to rebuild the ADC Grammar School in Nigeria. So Kevin will be performing there. For tickets and information, go to his social at Kevin Spiritus, and believe our post says tickets available can be found at the Keturah Hamilton Foundation.org.
Yeah, last but not least, we want to take just a few minutes and kind of all of us here just kind of go over sort of Emmy Day with us last week and our experiences. First, probably start off with Michael Mattis's epic Emmy photo he got here that has been shared by almost everyone. And Michael, you want to tell us how you were able to get this particular shot?
They all lined up. They all were standing there. It got quiet for one moment, and I said, "Hey, look over here." And that's how I got. It was very, but it was one of the few times you don't understand how, for whatever reason, difficult it is when you have even two people you're trying to get a shot of. When you have like a line of photographers to get the even two people to be looking at your camera at the same time without blinking, without making a weird face. And when I went to my computer later and saw this shot, and I looked, I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I was like, they're all looking at me. None of them are making any weird faces. I was like, I told Andrea, the PR, the head of PR for Days, I was like, you've trained them very well, because that's literally the only time I have taken a group shot where every single person, eyes to me, not making a weird face. So yeah, it was really fun. And I had a good spot on the carpet, and we got to be in the, the winner's room afterwards, which was really fun because we got to be there when Paul won his Emmy, like the of the night. He was genuinely like, he came into the press room, got his Emmy, did an interview, then came over to take pictures, and like we made eye contact, and he just looks at me and was like,
yeah.
You're like, we know, yeah, you're big shit. We knew this. So yeah, it was just a long day, but a fun day, and it was nice to see, some days love from the Emmys. Yeah, it's just a fun day. Good.
Yeah. Want to say big congrats again to Paul for winning Best Actor, but also to Marnie Saida and Bob Lambert for they won an Emmy for casting. Yeah, big congrats to them. And of course, shout out to James Reynolds, who was inducted as a silver inductee into the Academy, sort of kind of like Hall of Fame, their version of Hall of Fame. Yeah. So big congrats to them. Araceli, how was your experience on the red carpet? You were doing a lot of kind of double duty since you watch some of the other soaps, and being able to get those actors as well.
Yeah, you know what? There were a lot of hiccups throughout the day, and I heard some complaining. But I thought, in terms of the content we got and the behind the scenes, getting to interact with a lot of our fellow hosts that cover other soaps, from other, whether it be from like Daytime Confidential, from JLJ Media, it's the one time that we're all in a room together that we get to connect. And then what was great was that there were so many of us that were approved this year that you feel the love. You really feel the love from the soap people, from the producers, from like Marnie and all the actors. Like, they know us, and so when they see us, that was a thrilling moment for me, that they get excited to see us, because they know that like we're there for them. We're there to we're cheering them on so hard from the beginning of the carpet to the very end of the night. So I hope that reflected in the interviews that we took, and I hope that our audience sees that like there was a lot of genuine excitement from that we all had together. Like they would clock Michael behind the camera, they would clock us when we were in the middle of all of those other cameras on the other side. It was a lot of genuine love in the room. And I will say, one of my favorite moments was not just when Paul won, but when Paul came behind the scenes, and they got a really great shot of the Days Peacock got a really great shot of him like getting his like actually like engraved, like it has his name on it and everything. And in that same video, you saw the entire press room lit up for Nancy Lynn Graham winning lead actress. That was the moment that she won, when he was getting his engraved. So it was kind of like a double joy moment for me, of just like, I'm so glad that moment was captured, because it was like, oh my, all the people that I love getting their flowers.
Yeah. It was so funny the way he was like, it's like, it's got my name on it. It's like, yeah, it's got your name on it.
Yeah.
He was
like, you couldn't believe it.
So genuinely overjoyed,
Yeah, I think for me, that was one of the highlights, was being there and seeing Paul. We're all such good fans of his, and a friend to us and to the show, and so being able to be there as he was awarded, which was really great, as well as Marnie and Bob, who we talk about endlessly, and their casting and being recognized for that.
Much deserved.
Yeah, and of course James, who is a legend, and to see him be honored on stage, and I think that for me is the highlight. We got some really great interviews. Araceli got some great interviews. I talked to James and Hank Northrop, who you will see I think this coming week. Some interviews there. Again, like we said, it is a lot, and also being able to see everyone, people from JLG Media and other people we know, Melody and Errol and friends that we've made over the years is really great. It is a trek for you guys to be 100% real. The other stuff that I just named is what makes it worth it and to be there. But it is a lot. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. There's a lot of craziness that goes on when you get caught up in the machine of the Emmys and sort of, for us, quote unquote, working the Emmys. So we're just hope that people tune into the interviews and like the photos and all that kind of stuff, just because it's always not so easy to always do every single year, but it's worth it to be in the space when stuff like that happens with Days, and we get to celebrate with them. And we also got a little, well, how can I say this? We got word that it's always appreciated that we're there, and that we the Days people are always interested in speaking with us. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, and even when they jump to other soaps, like they recognize us and they always come over first. Like, oh my, like the first time I saw Lucas Adams, I'm like, I made eye contact with him. I'm like, yeah, come this way, come this way.
And it's good to have that relationship where some behind the scenes stuff. He came over, we were trying to get him and Tamra. Tamra wasn't ready. He very much was like, cool, I'm gonna wait for Tamra to get this moment, because I know this moment means something to Days fans, and it means something to do it at Dishin Days. So it's things like, and again, it's that wouldn't have happened. And trust me, there are some people who either don't know us or don't care about our outlet, and they will very easily breeze their actor by us. And sometimes it's a fight to get the interview. So it's nice when we recognize our Days family and they recognize us, and we're able to do stuff like that, because it's not always guaranteed.
Yeah, no, in terms of everybody that we got this year was just so appreciative of us, and the ones that we didn't get, it was, I promise you, it was just because there was not enough time.
Yeah, timing, yeah.
So like if anybody says like, well, why didn't you get this person? Why didn't you get that person? Guys, we just didn't have enough time. It was once we were going, we were going.
That carpet, there was a hard stop. Like all of a sudden it was full, and literally 3 minutes later, that room was empty. I was like, I looked around, I was like, oh shit, everyone's gone.
We tried, I promise you.
I can't remember what is one of the last interviews, but if you watch closely, you will see the lights being turned off.
It was mine with Greg. With Greg.
Yep. You can see the lights being turned off on us. That is them trying to rush all the actors in there. So if you see people there that you didn't see, it's because they were probably right after Greg, and they were being literally rushed in, and they were shutting the lights off on us.
Again, only because he knew us. He gave me 2 minutes, and it was like something like they were telling me like, go. I'm like, I'm trying.
Yeah. So yeah. It can be hectic and crazy, but it's worth it when we have days like that where people from our Days family get to win and be celebrated. So it's nice.
I did get a few messages. Going back to my photo, because I posted on Instagram, and I was like, the rock stars of Days Peacock. Then I went back. I was like, I got to revisit this photo again, because my spiel about, even when I get two people, like the other night, I shot a carpet and it's like two people. One's looking this way, one's looking that way. And that was the best shot I got. And I was like, oh, that's just how professional the Days cast is. Abigail Klein and Martha Madison both messaged me, and they're like, or you're just our favorite. And I was like,
yeah.
But I did. A lot of them, the recognition factor when they see one of us, or they're, oh yeah. And, they'll make sure to give us love, give us time. So it's appreciated. The mutual appreciation is always made apparent in those moments.
Yes. And it's also a testament to you guys, to the fans. Like they appreciate your support so much, especially at the Emmys, that's like when they see us and they know we're gonna ask fun questions, we're gonna ask stuff that makes the audience want to tune in. It's because they appreciate you guys too.
Yeah. And I'll say this last, there's something about also knowing where the content is going. And I think when they know they come to us, they know that the whole entirety of the interview is going to be shown. They know that it's going to be shown to Days fans who love and appreciate them. Sometimes, people go to different outlets because they may or may not be bigger than us. And then you don't even see the interview. Or you see a 2-second clip that you can.
Or they ask
a person.
They ask Days of Our Lives people about something that happened at General Hospital.
Yes, exactly. So they appreciate talking to us, people that they trust, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but I also got a lot of people from other soaps as well. So go check that out. Please support. Please support everybody. Tony got people from Beyond the Gates. I got people from General Hospital and YNR. It's a lot of love in the room.
Yeah. Yeah. So be sure to check out those videos. They're all on our YouTube page. So go check them out. Yeah. Before we close out, we have a preview of next week.
This is a rage room where you get out all your anger and frustrations and you just start smashing everything.
I will do everything in my power to send you to prison.
Philip will go right alongside me. Why didn't you tell me about this before?
You have not been easy to talk to.
You may be my foster son's biological father.
Mr. Saleko.
You could just call me Leo. Whoa, slow down. I can't understand a word you're saying. My brother Tony, he's missing.
Well, we got an answer about how Maggie's going to react on the Titan front.
The Hortons are not on my Christmas card list this year. And I'll leave it at that.
Okay. So more stuff, more intrigue and stuff next week to get into.
We get Hank Northrup.
We get Hank Northrup.
Debut.
Oh.
Go check out the interview we did with him. He really, really charming. Really talked about a funny story. He talked about James and working with him, and James and his dad, late Father Wayne, were very close and worked together side by side for years. And there was a little bit of a surprise with bringing Hank into the show. So go check out that interview to hear what he had to say. It was really, really sweet. Yeah. Before we head out, where can we find you, Michael?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at MLMattis and at MLMattis and at MLimages MLM Images LA.
This is your page, right? You did come up with the name,
Justin,
right?
where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Justin Lee Hareld. Araceli.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Tia323 Araceli.
You can find Tony everywhere at Laundry with Tony, and you can find all of us social media at Dishin Days Show on Facebook, at Dishin Days on Instagram, and Dishin Days on X and Threads. And that concludes our show. We will see you guys next week, where we give you another recap of Peacock's #1 award-winning soap opera Days of Our Lives. And see you next week. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
One more button.